Hello, and this is Lamb 500, and today I'm not going to be doing a topic about Lego. Instead, I'm going to be doing a starter's guide to collecting the original Kenner Star Wars action figures. To start off, you need a budget that you can afford, something that is a decent amount, but save up. Do some research and make a list of figures. Such as Luke. I recommend this one. It's the most. He's a great figure, so I recommend it. Once you have about 1 or 2 months of budgeting or money, put that into a credit card or a PayPal, and then you should immediately get onto groups that collect the original Kenner figures. On this, you can talk to people. Talk about how much the value of sealed figures, open figures. But you have to decide which you want to do. Do you want sealed figures on the card, never opened? Do you want them loose? And the best thing about loose is, do you want them a bit played with a bit of the paint coming off on some of the arms and faces? Or do you want it to be like new, never played with? This is something you have to really think about before you start buying, because there is a huge price difference between sealed figures and loose figures. First off, most loose figures you can get around under $100. I don't know how much, but you can get them. And sealed figures can go anywhere from over a few hundred to even the thousands, so it's going to cost you a lot. The second thing is you're going to need to find the condition of what. And so I said about the loose figures, do you mind having a bit of paint gone off and the face is a bit warped, and then some figures are yellowed? Or do you mind having some loose joints? Or do you want them not played with, like new, really just put on display or taken out the card? With sealed, do you want them like new, perfect, like they were just taken off the shelf? Or do you mind having them a bit ripped, or the cardboard coming off, or it really damaged, but you're just happy that it's still in the original packaging? Do you want them graded? Grading is another important thing. You can get graded sealed figures and loose figures cost you about, depends on the character, might cost you from a figure that cost around 25 to 30, say 30 can now cost you maybe 60 to 70 graded. Now, the next thing you have to do is, as I said, budget. Your budget is your most important thing for anything, not just the vintage Star Wars figures, but if you're collecting anything to do with the figures, like the vintage collection, the Black Series. Save up your money. I said that earlier. Save up about a month to 2 months worth of money, and to be honest, most figures do go for lots, so if you're hoping to get maybe 5 figures, you're going to need around 80 to 100, maybe a bit more, it depends on the character. Now, the first thing you have to do is get a book. Now, I don't have a book here personally. I still have to find one, because, again, I have a few of the original figures, and I'll do a video on them, but you have to buy a book. I know there's a lot of online sites showing every figure that was made, sorry about that, ever made. But, again, buy a book. Read through it. Look at it yourself. Don't, rather with computer or tablet or phone, not ever you can carry your laptop or your iPad or your phone, because sometimes people don't have internet on their phone when they're out of places. You can carry a book. It may look weird, but if you find a Luke Skywalker, I know I'm using this for this one, if you find Luke Skywalker, you're going to be able to recognize, hey, that's the Return of Jedi Luke. And you'll be able to try and make a purchase. I'm going to move over here just to get a better quality, and let me go down. But you're going to have to figure out how much you're wanting to pay for. Anywhere, a lot of figures you'll find. You could find a few rare ones that you would like, such as the CP3PO from the first 12 of the Kenner figures. Now, the most important things you have to decide if you're going to collect. You are going to have to make a checklist. So say on your list you want CP3PO, R2-D2, Luke Skywalker, and Boba Fett, Darth Vader. But personally, I would do some of the more common ones. such as you can get CP3PO. He's more of a not so common, but he is still affordable within that $100 to $120 or euro budget. Same with Luke here, but he will cost you a few bucks. Now, the most important thing you have to do is go onto some sort of group or channel or Facebook group or whatever and look around, ask people what they think, because there's a lot of people that do collect these and are not afraid to show their experience. We're all the new guys, so you might as well just ask questions, asking, is this a repo? Is this an original 1978 Luke or CP3PO from Kenner? Ask them questions. You may not look at them, because again, not everyone knows. There's some people we all know it's original. However, someone might have done a repo. This isn't a repo. It's the I don't know if you can see it, but it's 1978. Same with my Luke, but the Luke's in black there, so you might be able to see it. So I've said about there. You have to go onto Facebook groups, ask about things that you don't know about, you're not too sure about. You might have picked up a figure, ask, is this a real one? Is it good? Is it in good condition? Did I pay a good amount for it? Now, once you've done all that, and you should about have at least about a month or two budgeting. Now, immediately after this, I write a list. Write one of them lists. And as I said there a couple of minutes ago, put some characters that you do know of. But don't put all of them that you think, because they are expensive. I'd put, maybe if there's 10 figures on this list, I'd put about 7 or 6 of the figures, 6 or 7 of the figures are common, very easy, like a Luke or a Leia, maybe one of them weirder kind of characters, aliens, and maybe a droid, a stormtrooper. Then put maybe 2 to 3 rare figures, like them ones that you do like and you really want for your collection, but they can hold. Now, don't be wanting when there is a lot of photos of rare figures like Blue Snaggletooth, Yak Face, double telescope and lightsabers. They will all wait. You have your whole time to collect. Get the ones to start off with that look good and that are affordable. Again, this depends on how much your budget is. Some can have bigger budgets that are probably even more than others. However, I'm sticking to about 100 to 120, around that price. You can get at least 10, maybe even more figures. Now, most of them don't come with an accessory. My Luke Skywalker here does not have the lightsaber or the cape. However, it's still cool. You can always, people on Facebook, all you have to do is ask them, has anyone got a cape and a lightsaber for my Luke Skywalker, or it depends on the gun. Now, post your list onto them groups. Say what you want and describe what you want. Do you want them, if they are sealed figures like mint on card, do you want them unpunched, meaning that they're on the peg hole? Do you want them ripped? Do you mind having them just cut out? Or what do you want to do with loose? Do you mind having a figure with no accessories and a bit of the paint's falling off and the joints it was kind of played with? Or do you want a like new with all accessories, or never the arms are stiff and the legs? This is what you're going to have to make a decision of. Now, while that's happening, go to eBay. I say Amazon, but I have found a few figures on Amazon that are actually a reasonable price from different sellers. Go to eBay, go to Amazon, look up figures. So say you want to get Han Solo in your first list. You look up 1978 Han Solo and you might just find it. Now most of them will be played with. I don't think there's any sealed ones that are around your price range. However, an open one you can find it around 20 to 25, maybe even more. It depends on the small head or the big head. So the big head's more expensive. I don't know, I'll get into a video with that. So once you're done and you've got maybe a few figures under your belt, maybe you've got 8 of them, enjoy collecting. You've your whole life to collect these figures. Enjoy them. Slow them out. Some people could go on eBay or Amazon, eBay, and buy every single figure, all the variants, write down at that moment and be done with. However, that's not fun. The whole idea and what I love about it is when you find a figure in an antique store, antique kind of auction, or a yard sale or whatever, or even in a comic book store, you find a loose figure standing there in a bubble or something maybe, and you see it and you immediately know it's vintage. That's the fun of it, because if you just have a complete set and you find like a CP3PO or Luke or Leia or Han or Lando, it's kind of like I already have one of them. And I do know some of them are hard to find, and I do understand they can be expensive, but I have seen some groups on the internet doing some fantastic things, where if you want a Boba Fett figure, it's a bit more expensive here in Ireland, they will send you the figure, but you'll have to pay them off, kind of like a loan, which is very smart, but I haven't done that. One I forgot to say, and I'm going to mention it, is trading. If you get a good deal on any figure, now I know I'm only using 2 figures, CP3PO and Luke Skywalker, I apologise, I will get more, but say you find 2 of these Luke Skywalkers, no accessories, say you have 2, and you don't have a Luke, so you decide to, and say the both of them are 45, and it's only 2, you can't buy one, and you buy both of them, and you get both of them in the mail, and you take one out, and you put it into your own private collection, you put it into your kind of collection. I always recommend, with the second figure, not selling it, going on some groups, trading, seeing if they have a figure or an accessories. An IG-88 figure's accessories would be worth it by trading them, because them accessories are €40, so that's expensive. Personally, if you get a figure, you should, unless you know for certain that you're going to find it, or you think you have a double, don't be trading one, like a Luke Skywalker. I know it's more common, but once you find it, keep it. And then down the line you can sell it, but in my opinion, when I get a figure, I don't sell it, or I don't trade it, unless I have a duplicate. Rather, I've only one Return Jedi Luke, I'm not going to sell that, I'm not going to trade that, because if I trade that or sell it, I don't have one, and I'm missing something that I had, so I'm now going back one, so it's very hard. Now, to spot scams on the internet like eBay, you see a lot of people selling recarded figures. Now, I'm going to have a whole video about this, and personally, I have a few figures that I'm recarding myself. Now, I'm not going to sell them, I'm hanging them up on my wall, well, that's not a wall, but that wall. So recarded figures are very cheap. It's the original figure, so I could basically get a packaging, get the accessories, or just get this figure, put in a bubble, get the card back, and sell it for around 20 to 35, maybe even more. These are very cheap ways, and if you don't mind having them recarded in their repos or customs, and you're fine, you're just wanting to get a few of the cool ones like Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, Luke, Stormtrooper, Han Solo, and them, and you don't collect them all, and you just want to hang a few up on your wall, kind of, or on your shelf, you want to put them on display, kind of on your shelf, or as I kind of do it, hanging them on my wall there and putting pegs into them, that's understandable, because sometimes figures do cost a lot, and they are vintage figures. The only thing is the packaging is not. So by then, have fun, don't be rushing it, you've a long time to collect. I recommend taking your time with it. To me, the whole idea of it is to get ones on your journey. If you find one that you already have, maybe buy another one of it, unless it's expensive, really expensive. But in the end, you will be able to get a complete set, and a complete set is from 1978 to 1985. There was the droid show with CP3PO and R2D2, however this is not the one that they used. But however, they aren't really counted as the original, so you don't have to buy it. Whoever tells you, like your friend at school or your friend at maybe a sports you do, says that them droids and Ewok shows do count as the originals. They don't. So you don't have to get them, because they're very pricey and they could run you up. Like, I do know a regular CP3 like this can go for around 30 to 40, depends on the condition, maybe even more. However, the droids one, loose, I don't even think how much it costs sealed. Sealed, I think it goes for a few tens, maybe 15,000. I don't know. A loose one, I seen them going for 400 to 800, at least where I live. So that's expensive. However, they don't count. You do have to get a CP3PO to complete your set. There is variants of the figures, like there is a CP3PO with removable arms and head, with head removable arms, legs. I don't have that. I have the original 12 figure. My one is a bit loose, but I don't really mind. There is many versions, but I'd honestly just stick to the ones. Get a book, collect your figures, and once you start collecting and you've got a few figures under your belt, I think you'll be able to be fine. And I will answer any questions down below. Maybe not all of them, but I don't have all of them, but I am trying to collect them all. I have a decent amount of them for me only starting, and so I think you should try and collect them. But overall, I don't know how many figures there is. I will leave in the comments, but I'm dragging the video out. But I want to thank you all for watching. Peace out and bye.